watching the broadcast, I left my little new game HUD on, so you see how the rankings work. So let me take that off real quick. So if you weren't paying attention, then you don't know. All right, so we're going to jump right in since a few of you might have already seen it anyway. And we'll jump right in here and give you the top or the bottom few of the 11 now. And I'll explain the movement when we get to that. So it's kind of interesting this week. Not necessarily in a happy way, but yeah, it's a little interesting. So I'll jump right in there and tell you that moving up one spot now to number 11 would be the Broncos. So they are up from that basement spot of 12. And then up another spot also, the King Cobras at number 10. You're catching a theme here with the up one spot. And then at number 9, up one spot, would be the Huskies.
All right, now I'll go on from there.
All right.
At number 8, we have the Patriots. Get there, they're up one spot.
Right. Are they?
At number 7, we have the Cowboys. What do you know? They're up one spot.
They did move up one. Okay.
Yeah. Number 6, we have the Bulldogs. They're up one spot.
There we go.
Number 5, we have the Raiders. They're up one spot. What do you know?
Get out of here.
What are the chances?
Right.
What are the chances?
I'll hold till after Rhino breaks his
I'm nervously waiting to see the top 4.
his top 4.
Did they move?
Right. And then
Let's see. Coming in at number 4, the Mustangs. Hey, they moved up a spot. 3 are the Warriors.
No, what was their
We're following
movement
the
like
pattern.
this week? What was their movement like this week?
They moved up one.
They did. All right.
Yeah. You know them Titans, them old head Titans, are coming in at number 2, and yeah, they moved up a spot too.
Well, there you go.
After an ass whooping.
Right. Right.
Damn. There must be some magic in the air.
I think so.
And coming in at number 1 is the Seahawks.
And they
Otis-
also moved
Yeah.
up a spot.
Otis and them pulled out and moved up 1 too.
All right. So now let me throw this on real quick right here, and then we'll.
It's almost like a team just vanished.
Right. Right. I sensed a great disturbance in the force. It was great, like a million voices cried out at once, and then were suddenly silenced. No.
Bad
You
thing
can,
is we lost our main number 1 fan. Tor's not in the.
I know.
And,
The
I
bearded
know.
one was right here.
Every
Right.
time.
It's
I'm
So-
heartbroken.
Yeah. So all right. So for those of you that are watching on stream right now, I've got the HUD pulled back up where you can see all of it, and you'll notice a solid green column for the movement. That's what happens when the number 1 team disbands and everybody else shifts up a spot. So I didn't really know. I was trying to decide if I should count everybody's previouss as though it didn't exist. So I marked it as that. Like the Broncos weren't 11 last week, but for all intents and purposes, for accounting wise. So, but they everybody did shift up one. So I don't. It was just one of those. I'm not thinking clearly because I've got about an hour and a half sleep last night.
Congratulations to your
Oh
to
my
your,
God, that was amazing.
to your Alabama Crimson Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
Roll Tide.
I
Not
can't-
often you hear me say it, but I'm an SEC homer. So
Let me tell you, and I'm gonna say this too, because there ain't very many times that I would ever admit this about my beloved Crimson Tide, but the better team didn't win that game last night. That they outplayed us in every way that you can, other than special teams and coaching.
yeah, the better coach won that game. last
Yeah,
night.
absolutely.
That's what won that game
He
last
he
night.
earned that 4.5, 5, or seven now, I think, $1 million contract on that
Yeah.
one little game last night because sometimes the players go out and win a game for a coach. Last night I feel like the coach went out there and won one for the team because
Yeah.
they were quicker than we were as the game wore on. They were hitting harder than we were as the game wore on, and we just stole it. So
That quarterback, Deshaun Watson.
that
is
kid is for real.
Sophomore, dude.
That-
Sophomore.
Yeah, that is going to be, if that team doesn't go back it'll just be because they broke down and got aggravated because they didn't win it
Yeah.
this year, because they are returning everybody, and I have a whole lot more respect for that team now than I did before that game. Not that I was like in the respect of I wasn't sure, exactly how tough they were. Some of the other ACC teams had not looked that great in bowls. Some of their better wins over the course of the season hadn't looked that great in bowls. All of Alabama's opponents went out and won their bowl games just about. So I mean, it was like one of those things where I was like, okay, these kids think they're ready, but we're gonna handle them by about 20 something points, and probably similar, the way the Seahawks feel when they roll up against most of the other teams in the league. It's like, all right, fellas, that's cute and all, but we got this. Now, I'm throwing that out there because we got a one and only visitor this week from the Seahawks. Oh, never mind. I didn't see Jinx out there. Hey, Jinx. The last time I scanned, she wasn't there. So we got Otis and Jinx joining us this week. Hi, Jinx. So,
Well, about the championship game, I think when Alabama got the onside kick that didn't ever touch the ground, I think that's what deflated Clemson.
that would, yeah. Well,
I think it more confused Dabo because then he got paranoid of what's coming up.
right.
Dabo start thinking, okay, what's he got next? What's he got next? And got Dabo overthinking. And I think that's what got it.
Well, I tell you what stood out to me, and I even made this comment to my parents. I was watching it with my dad, and they showed whenever Henry got that last touchdown, and they panned for about a 3-second shot over there of Deshaun Watson, and I was like, that's not the face of a quarterback that's going to lead them from behind right now, because he looked deflated at the time. I was like, this kid's checked out, he's done. 30,
Sophomore.
yeah, 30 seconds later, he's throwing a dart from like the 20-something yard line into the end zone for a quick score. I was like, oh, never mind. I guess he found his happy place, because they just marched right down the field, sliced through our defense like butter, which nobody had done this season.
No.
So it was something, man. Golly, it was something. But Roll Tide, we brought it home. So all right.
Yes, back to our UFL.
Right,
teams
right.
here.
Back to UFL.
I want to apologize up front. I didn't get to watch much this week. It was a busy weekend. I did keep track of some scores. The one movement for me, which is separate from you and Rhino, was Mustangs Raiders, and that's just simply because it looks like the Mustangs got handled.
Oh yeah, there wasn't
But
no question.
It was the Seahawks. They handled everyone. So I wasn't gonna drop them down. Wasn't gonna drop them down. 3 or 4 spots over a loss to the Seahawks. Just it's not gonna happen.
Right, and too, I even shared with you. I was pretty close because ours have mirrored. It's funny how you start to thinking, like other people, and
Yeah.
I was pretty close to that move myself. I even told you off the air. I would kind of wait and gauge and see this weekend, because I know we've got the Titans, and that would give me one more heads up, observation
Yeah.
between the two. Before I made the move, but it feels like right now the Raiders are on an uptick, as far as the way that they've been playing. They finally, have kind of, I think, settled in at all of their spots now. So they're kind of gelling.
They got rid of some loose baggage. They got
Right.
rid of the psych guy.
Yeah, that loser. So yeah, once he was out of the way, I think there was nobody else there to bring them down. So
But things pretty much, from what I'm hearing, the Bulldogs had a pretty good game against the Cowboys.
yes,
Not
yes,
a real
they did.
high scoring game, but a pretty much in control type of game. So I see the Bulldogs also on that uptick also.
Yep, absolutely.
But I'm gonna take a moment here just to give everybody an explanation of what happened with the Bucks, and it's not actually what's happening with the Bucks; it's what happened with the league. The playoffs have not changed, even though we've lost one team. 4 teams from each division are going to go in. The owners did have a protocol in place for in case a team disbanded. So everything is still going along as it is. 4 teams, each conference going to the playoffs. Basically, the Bucks scores have been erased. Every game they've played has gone to 56-0. So they can't holler, "Oh, imbalance, we played them and you didn't."
Right.
Every score is set to 56-0. So those who are wondering how it's going to affect the playoffs, it's not going to affect it other than maybe the Patriots get to be a 3-13 playoff team
Right.
rather than doing a happy dance.
Right. Yeah.
Going to the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
they had that problem similar in the NCAA this year with 5 and 6 teams getting in the bowls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
or 5 and 7. I mean, so yeah, that well, it'll look. If you think it doesn't matter if you lined up all 12 teams and you seeded it out and had a playoff, the best two are going to end up in the final by the time this thing's over. Now there might still be some question on who the number 2, who the number 3, who the number 4 is. It's all going to settle itself out. It'll take care of itself.
I'll tell you who I think benefited more than the Patriots. I think the Warriors benefited. The Warriors are on an uptick. They would have had to go through the Bucks and the Seahawks in the playoffs. That is no small thing. Say what you want about the Bucks disbanding. That was a talented team.
Right.
To have to go through the Bucks and the Seahawks in the playoffs to make a Super Bowl is a tall task to do.
Yeah, that's
so I believe
it's not an enviable run.
I believe the Warriors kind of benefited here that now they're gonna have whoever the two playoff teams are, probably Cowboys, Patriots. We always said here we're gonna be brutally honest. The Cowboys are on a downtick. The Patriots are what they are. The Warriors are looking pretty good. So it's looking like it's gonna be a Warriors-Seahawks fight. And now all the Warriors have to do is hope, can we get the Seahawks to slip up? Can we get them to slip up just once and we'll get in and to the bowl? Where before they had to say, we got to get the Bucks, then we got to turn around and get the Seahawks. So I believe the Warriors really benefited here.
Yeah, and then on the other side, I mean, right now you guys are pretty clear-cut favorite as far as going in on the 1 seed, but I think that 2, 3, and 4 over there is kind of turning into a dogfight. I don't know that you're going to see anybody outside of the Raiders, Mustangs, and Bulldogs competing for those top 4 on that side, but I think the seeding on that side is far from settled as far as that goes. So,
Yeah.
And I don't think you guys are locked in. I mean, I feel like, let me clarify. Right now, I think you guys from top to bottom are playing the best football on our side. That's why I say you think that you guys right now are pretty plugged in as far as the number 1 seed goes. I say that out of reference to I feel like like I said, you guys are playing best ball. But then the 2, 3, and 4, like I said, it's kind of a coin flip right now on who's going to finish out the strongest. So we'll see. As that
We'll know
goes
more
on.
this week.
Well, yeah.
Played the Mustangs this week. We'll know this week what's going on. And we got the Mustangs one more time. We got the Raiders one more time. That's if we split with the Mustangs, we've already got one on the Raiders. It could still come down to.
Well, this is a big. Yeah. Now, have y'all played the Bulldogs yet?
I believe yes.
Okay, so this is a big one as far as Mustangs Titans go, because that's that the team going into the rematch at least would hold the tiebreaker between between the two. So yeah, that's going to be a big game. Should be lots of fun. No, I'm looking forward to it.
We've still got the Bulldogs one more time.
Right.
Yes.
We got the Cobras one more
time.
Played
already once, week 3.
And we got the Mustangs twice, the Raiders.
Gotcha. So
there's still some stuff to be determined there. And if we go into any game like we went into that Seahawk game, you can forget it. I wouldn't give us a chance against the Eagles.
It's funny the way, but if you're gonna have a bad week, that's probably the team to have it against. Because I say that to say this. They're one of the teams out there that even if you go in and you hit on all cylinders, there's a good chance you're probably not going to win. Yeah. So if you're going to have a bad one, go ahead and mail it in when you're playing them, and then bring your A game, to like the Raiders or the Mustangs or Bulldogs or Warriors or somebody like that.
Let me rephrase real quick. We did not play a bad game. we were forced into a bad game by the good Seahawks play.
Yeah.
So
Probably one
saying
of those
that,
little buttholes sitting out there now listening.
yeah. So to say that we, I don't want to take nothing away from the Seahawks by just saying, oh, we went in there and we didn't play a good game, because that's not true. We went in there with every intention of kicking their ass. But it didn't happen. And to all those who messaged me beforehand saying, oh, Jazzy, y'all can beat Jazzy, kiss my ass.
Girl can throw, can't you?
Girl can run, girl can throw.
Right.
Just all of y'all that said, don't worry, it's Jazzy, it's not Cravon, kiss my ass.
You obviously haven't played. Yeah,
No.
we still have the Titans, Raiders, and Mustangs.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's 3 tough ones right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of weaving. I think before the dissolving, a lot of people felt like from top to bottom, the other side of the division was the probably the stronger conference. But as far as positioning goes, from here to the end, all the action's gonna be over on our side.
Yeah.
So
I think the top 4, I would be comfortable saying the top 4 have pretty much, solidified their spot. Where that top 4 is going to fall is what you're going to see. Then you're going to start wondering, are team owners going to start positioning themselves based on seeding? Do you want to finish 4th? Do you want to finish 3rd? Who do you want to play in the playoffs? Watch for a little of that gameplay going on as well.
right.
Teams that, if there's a battle between 3 and 4, let's just say Raiders, Bulldogs are battling 3 and 4. Titans have already locked in number 1. They may say, hey, we don't want to play the 4 seed. We want to play the 3, so it may get a little tougher. So some jockeying for position will go on there right at the end as well, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it will.
Who do you want to play first? I'm in the playoffs now. Who do I want to play to get to the bowl?
Championship
Yeah.
in the conference, then to the bowl.
I think all teams should have 3 goals: make the playoffs, make the conference championship, then move on to the bowl.
Yep.
We laugh about Razin going in at 3-13. It's possible. I mean, he may win a couple more games. Cowboys do look like they're kind of on a downfall. Razin going there at 3-13. Hey, he's in the playoffs. He's achieved the first goal. All he needs is for one of those teams he's playing in the playoffs to slip up.
Yep.
Somebody's net not be right. Somebody's quarterback not be able to go. Just slip up that one time, that one game, and then boom, they're in the championship game. There's a lot. It's Second Life. We rely on Linden Lab servers as much as we rely on our talent. So,
and a lot can happen.
yeah. So just get to the point. Remember, VIFL season 1. Packers go in there with a losing record, win it all.
Yep. Well, and 2, they're in the spot over there that
Yeah.
there are 5 teams. So really, it's just a matter of which team's left out. There ain't gonna be but one that don't make it. So
That's it.
who's
Yeah.
it gonna be?
And right now it's looking like the Broncos with no wins.
Right, and that's why respectfully, when I look at the other side right now, I can tag. I feel pretty comfortable in saying Huskies and King Cobras are out. So that leaves Titans, Raiders, Bulldogs, Mustangs to figure out the other 4. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun.
Broncos go in there and they take one from the Huskies. Great, but it's a non-conference win.
Right.
Doesn't help in the playoff race. So it's going to be interesting. It's coming down to the end, and it's going to be some interesting games.
Yeah, they're gonna shake out, and it's gonna be fun. So there's some football left out there, and if you haven't been up to the new, I'll throw this out there, to the new build that we've got up on the up in the middle of the atmosphere for the UFL games. I haven't had a chance to play on it yet. You guys, you probably have, or did your game? No, y'all both played. Rhino, Rayon, you didn't. But how does it feel up there now? Rhino, is it less laggy? Do you feel a little bit more loose?
It depends. I mean, we kind of, even though we got that little divide between the fan part because they did have to flip the field in order for the fans to be able to see it.
Yeah.
But every now and then we did catch a little bit of a frames per second difference, but it was still smoother than some of the games down on the regular field sim ground. Um, I know being up there also as a ref this weekend, some of it seemed smooth, and there was every now and then you had a little bit of a hiccup. We had one of our players ended up going in almost off the platform, but she had a lag spike and it took her off the field.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking ahead at this week. Other than game one, Raiders King Cobras. Which I'm sorry, Cobras. It is what it is. We got some pretty good matchups this week.
I hadn't even really, from
We
top to
have
bottom looked. And
the first two games are really not great, but you got the Raiders King Cobras. It is what it is. You got the Cowboys Seahawks. One thing I can promise you about that game is Horns is gonna have her Cowboys ready. They're gonna have fun. They're gonna play. They're gonna enjoy. They're gonna have fun with. But the result is gonna be the same. Then you've got the Titans Mustangs. That's a good game. You got the Patriots Broncos. Two
might be a,
lower tier teams that could be jockeying
I
for
was gonna
most
say
of that last playoff.
it might be a good game. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you got the Huskies Bulldogs. I don't want to call them evenly matched. This they're not at this point in time. But the Huskies could be coming in with a chip on their shoulder and saying, "Hey, look, we've been getting a little better, and this is where we want to show y'all that we're getting better." So don't take them Huskies lightly.
Well, I think the main thing they could do, yeah, like you said, is overlook them. Right
Yeah.
now I can tell you I'd pick the Bulldogs.
Oh yeah.
99 times out of 100 in this matchup. I think the only way that they lose it is if they don't think that they can lose it. So I don't.
I'm, I'll go ahead and put it out there for my team. We don't overlook anybody. We take and we prep for each team, just that team. Oh well, this is gonna be an easy game. Let's look forward to the next. We've got this one. That's not how we look at it because, like Rayon said a few minutes ago, we rely on our talent, but we also have to rely on Linden Labs and their servers. Any one of us on our side, or a couple of us on our side, could have off time, or we're having lag problems, and the Huskies take advantage of that. So we're prepping
Yeah.
for them just like we prep for anybody else.
Yeah. I will give you the perfect example. I'm gonna go way back to the IFL season 1 when we played the Huskies / Packers in the playoff game, and I was on Ray Roberts Eagles with Bichio, Chris Piaggio, Valentino, Malik. We had a stacked, talented team. That field was so laggy, we couldn't move, and I kept telling the Eagle guys, "Look, we're going to lose this game because of lag. We're going to lose this game because of lag." Nobody, no, just play through it, play through it. Sure enough, lag kicked in, and we lost. Packers moved on and went on to win the bowl that year. So
Yep.
you can't discount anything really.
Mm-mm. No, you
Now,
can't
like I
take
say,
anything for granted.
just based on record, there's a couple teams right now that I'll have to go through. There's a couple teams right now that have locked in playoffs. There's no way a couple of these teams can get knocked out of the playoffs. Just the seeding has to be established, but there's a couple teams that are pretty much locked in, and you've got your playoff spot. The seeding is what's yet to be determined. But after this week's game, we'll start looking, and I'll come up with a list of who's eliminated, who's not, who's locked in, and who's not. And we can start taking a little bit finer look at the seeding, where people are going to be seated at.
Yep, good deal. That's good stuff. Well, we don't have a giveaway this week, so I don't have any
Uh,
gift cards or any kind of original creations.
Yeah.
Usually you can tell that the stadium here packs up a little bit fuller when we start throwing out candy. But
The gift of knowledge. We're giving out the gift of knowledge.
right.
And you see what that's worth, don't you?
That's right. Well, they see it's my knowledge is the problem. You know, if it was a little bit better than me that was passing out on the wisdom, they'd probably be down here. But I am the gift site. Thank you, Odith. I
Yeah.
appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah. But
You know, I mean, things happen. The Raiders Patriots game. Bob got his first touchdown.
Yeah, man.
Fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's that.
Let me rewind for a minute there. My former teammate over there, Bob Saul, man, big, powerful move, dude. I'm so proud for him. Great guy. If you've never, hung out and talked with him for a little bit, you should. If you don't leave with a smile on your face, then you're just not listening. He will sing for you. He will.
Yes, he will.
He'll break anything down that you need broken down. We were scrimming. Who was it? It may have been the Broncos, and this is back when I was still with the Raiders. And he had started calling himself the coach. So he's standing on the sidelines, and Snipe is running around, rolling for his life. And I think it wasn't me. I think it was Kazi had broken free in the end zone. And out of nowhere, Bob goes, "Snipe, throw the ball!" And so Snipe said, "I just ran back and threw it." And we ended up scoring. And so we started relying on Bob back there. He's like, "All right, just tell him if he's taking too long, Bob." But no, that was good to see. Proud to death for him. So that was a good moment for them.
Bob has been around for a while too.
Yep.
He has.
He
Couple leagues now.
He sang to us after our game with the Cowboys, and we kind of were in our photo shoot area we were wanting to take for Rory, and Bob started singing to us while we were standing there. I haven't really known him. I've met him this season actually, but he makes me laugh. He's fun to talk to.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He is.
If you ever want to know what it's like to be happy for no reason at all, no one's giving you nothing, you haven't won nothing, just happy for no reason whatsoever.
Actually, there is
That's
one
Bob.
reason for him. He's alive.
That's true, and he's got me as his agent.
It.
I'm his agent. So.
But anyway,
because he told me that he goes, because I was having a bad day, and Bob hit me up after Rory passed, and wasn't really in the mood to talk, but Bob being Bob, puts a smile on your face, and it's just because he gets to be here. That's his main reason for being the way he is.
Yep.
good guy.
Absolutely.
Unlike that Otis that terrorizes the hell out of every offensive line.
Right.
Yeah, and one quick shout out real quick. I know the Bucs suspended. To me, I hate to see that happen. We lost a dominant team. But I would like to give a thank you to Matt Asadar and Tom Box, who stuck around to fill their positions here with the UFL. Matt, who most don't know, does a great job with the media. Tom with the Players Association. So it was great that they did stick around and keep the staff going, help us finish the season. Big help. Big shout out to those two.
Yep. All right, fellas.
Matt's still on the pulse too, so.
He is. Tom and he and that other scrub that they've got with them on some weeks. So, all right, guys. Well, if we don't have anything, I think
I'm sorry, guys. I'm about all out this week.
I'm out this week too. I ain't got nothing.
Nothing wrong with that, y'all. So, everybody, come out next week. We'll be here again Tuesday. We'll start it up probably shortly after 5, and then we'll go until or 6 o'clock, whichever one comes first. And I'll get up with Blueberry and see if we've got any kind of prize for next week. Give you guys a little bit more incentive to do it. It's like
Come see our ugly faces.
That's right. It's like I used to buy the Topps bubble gum and then the, whatever baseball card happened to come with it. So I know they're coming for our show, and then just whatever gift card happens to come with it,
Yeah.
they'll take. So anyway, but everybody, y'all get out there on the practice fields this week, have some fun scrimming. Get out there, get
Go
to
watch
know
some
everybody.
games.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not
Yes.
not your game, go watch a couple games.
Yes, and I'm going to get back in
there's
the.
gonna be some good games.
I wasn't able to this past weekend, but I am anticipating that I'll get to commentate again, and that is one of my pleasures in this league, man. When I get to break down a game and do that, so I hope it's as insightful as I feel like I'm getting out of watching it. So,
Yeah,
All
I
right.
actually haven't commentated this season.
well, get on out there and sign up with me. We'll do it. I'll stream it if we ain't got one. Most of the time, I sign up as a streamer, praying to God that anybody, or as a commentator, praying to the gods above that anybody will sign up to stream it. And then if nobody does, I'll just say, all right, well, I'm commentating and streaming. So sign on
Yeah.
up. We'll get one out there.
I'm tied down in that rough area though right now.
I gotcha. I've tried to get Jinx out there. Shout out to Odith, by the way, who's been commentating for the last couple of weeks, or last
Yes, he
couple of
has.
weekends.
I'm letting everybody know from now when I see a Facebook post somebody complaining about the referee, I'm posting that Pac-Man Jones Instagram for him right underneath.
Oh man.
NFL refs make bad calls too.
Right. Well, now oh man, y'all gonna get me ugly. I'm not gonna. Nope. I'm not
Stop.
doing it. I'm not gonna be
Let
ugly.
it go.
I'm gonna diffuse.
Frozen. Let it go.
So, right. So, all right. Well, everybody, it's been fun. So come on back next week, and we'll see y'all there. Tune in to the Pulse Thursday afternoon, same time, 5 o'clock SL, and we will see y'all then.
See you later.
Yep.